Okay. All right. Hello, K-City residents. Welcome to PREAM RADIO Season 2, Episode 3. So my name is Godwin. Today we have Danny here. So PREAM RADIO is K-City's finest radio, the first ever Discord-based K-pop talk. Through PREAM RADIO, we would like to be the pioneer platform for the Discord K-pop community to be able to talk about what's happening in K-pop in a format that we believe has never been done before. So just to be clear again, all opinions and views are our own, no harm intended for the respective artists, management, companies, and the beloved K-pop fans in here. If you haven't yet, go follow our official Twitter, Instagram accounts at KCT and our YouTube channel, K-City K-pop, where you upload all the VODs or video on demands of PREAM RADIO. So today we have a very special guest with us, and you might know him as someone, well, who's a fairly active member of our server, and also a dude who owns tons of K-pop albums. So please welcome DizZzy Pop, aka AJ. Welcome. Give a round of applause. Clap. Welcome.
Hello, I am Dude. I am Dude who owns albums.
I think that's what most people know you as in the server right now.
You say, let's tag him. Let's see how this packaging of this one.
Yeah, that's totally fair. But yeah, would love to, of course, give you a warm welcome and a more formal introduction, maybe with like that, right? So love to, yeah, I'd love for you to introduce yourself. Your name, where you come from, how old you are, and what you do besides collecting K-pop albums.
Um, well, I'm AJ. I am 30, newly 30, I guess, and I collect albums. I collect Funko Pops too, and when I don't do that, I am literally working. I work for the collection that I have. A lot of people like to assume that anybody who has albums and stuff is just like, oh yeah, that's a rich guy. That's why you have that. No, I work more than I sleep.
Right. Yeah, and I guess in a way you work to collect, well, make the gigantic collection that you have right now, right?
Right.
Yeah. Cool. Nice. All right. So let's, kick it off. As everyone knows that you are the guy who owns a lot of K-pop stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Funko Pops and all that kind of stuff, right? But we also know that you are a content creator as well, right? With YouTube and then more recently TikTok as well. So love to, yeah, kind of introduce what you do on both of those channels and where those are going.
Well, the YouTube channel, been doing since last May. Been doing mainly unboxings and just photocard stuff. It's kind of inconsistent because of the sheer amount of groups that I support and collect. So all of the videos are just just the view counts are so scattered because I have so many different audiences. And then uh TikTok wise, I mainly just showcase albums I'm about to unbox and just critique the hell
Okay.
out of packaging that I hate.
Okay. And I mean, what are some examples of packaging that you hate?
Ween's Red, if you've
Oh.
seen that, it's got a pull tab that you
Okay.
can't that you have to destroy to get into it. Anything that has a bag, uh Drippin's free pass that's made out of bubble wrap.
Okay.
There's yeah. Speaking, it's looking at chat. Yeah, Rocket Punch's first few albums that are in bags. Outside of the bags, now if you ignore the bags, the packaging is quite nice. But then they put out Ring Ring, and then that's a stapled together like pamphlet with a photo card in it.
Okay.
If an album doesn't have a spine, I don't like it.
Right, or something like, kind of more durable, I guess,
Yeah,
to hold it together.
durability is good, but yeah, I mean, like, there's a lot of albums. Like Chunga has an album that doesn't have a spine. Shiny has an album that doesn't have a spine, where it's just the paper, just with no binding, and that's awful too.
Yeah, because I mean that's so much easier to just lose, I guess, in a way. Oh yeah, you look at that picture. Oh god, it looks so bad.
Yeah, it's they're like brochures.
Oh, that looks so cheap.
But it does have like sparkly shatterfoil cover. Like it does have like a foiling to it, but the spine
Right.
is awful.
But just a staple. It reminds me of those like elementary school kind of like little pamphlets or
Yeah,
like
like a
what?
brochure you'd get when you go
Like
to
one of
the
those,
zoo.
yeah. Yeah. It's like, oh no. But I guess, to each company their own, right? Everyone, I mean, I think, even within specific artists, like they have different packaging for every single album that they put out too, right? They always vary it a lot of different ways.
Yeah, if you're not Mamamoo or Luna, then you have a various amount of packaging choices. But those are two groups that have been very consistent, actually entirely consistent, except for Mamamoo solos. I don't want to get into those. Those are all awful. But all
Okay.
those packagings are like LP sized, doesn't fit
Okay.
on a shelf.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. I can see it. Like Mamamoo just group albums and
The group
then
albums are very
yeah.
uniform, very clean. They look great on a shelf together.
Right. And then Luna just looks like an entire encyclopedia, honestly, collection.
If you show
Um,
somebody Luna albums on a shelf, they'll say, "Why do you have so many of the same thing?"
right, because it all looks the same, at least from the side, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's totally fair. But yeah, no, thank you for introducing. I guess your brand in a way is very consistent, right? You're the unboxing guy, if you will, right?
Yep.
Collector unboxing. Um,
The guy who follows every rookie group.
are you sure? Do you follow like every single rookie group out
There's
there?
a couple that like I try to make an honest like, is this group gonna last a few days?
Yeah, more than the
In
5 days of that one group, right? Yeah.
Well, technically, actually, that group never debuted. They put out an article later that nobody saw that actually the group had disbanded pre-debut, and they put all the work into that song, so they
Well, might
just
as well
released
just
it
put it out
anyway.
there, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so they put it out anyway, but the group had actually not debuted.
Okay. I mean,
Of what?
of what?
Oh well, that was I don't even know how to pronounce that one. That was
No.
like Solia or whatever
So
that
yeah,
didn't
something like
happen. That
that. Yeah. That group,
um
quote unquote, lasted 5 days,
Yeah, the
whatever.
quote. Yeah, it's quoted the last 5 days, but they technically didn't debut. They just posted the informal. We didn't. We're disbanding 5 days after they dropped their song. There was also a group Rendezvous
Okay.
who dropped a pre-debut single and then disbanded before officially debuting. And one of the members went on to be in the group Checkmate.
Oh, checkmate. Yes. Okay. Okay.
But yeah, that was a group I was following that never debuted. Uh, there's been a number of there was Orange Latte. Orange Latte
Yeah.
never
Oh
made a
yeah.
song,
Oh
but
yeah.
two of the
Orange
members
latte.
of it was supposed to be like a very pioneer group of a group that simultaneously promotes in both Japan and Korea at the same time.
Yeah, I
And
remember
then
Orange
COVID
latte.
hit, so that was thrown out the window, and then they threw the members into Girls Planet.
Yeah, and so one of the members is Ririka. So
Yeah,
if you followed
and she was
music
also
project,
on.
she
Yeah,
was one. Yeah, she was also in the Orange Latte. So fun fact. There you go.
there's a
Yeah,
couple
I
others,
mean,
but I don't remember off the
I
top
was
of my head.
following Orange Latte for a while too. I had high hopes too, but COVID. Yeah.
Then there. I mean, there's a lot of groups that you see a ton of pre-debut stuff come out, and then it never happens. Like the House Girls, how they never debuted.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Mystic Story Rookies never debuted. Like
Where
we
are
still
they?
don't know what's
That's
going
my
on with
question. Do you know
them.
where they are? Like, I was so hyped for their
They're
debut.
supposed to still be debuting this year, according to some insider information.
Okay.
Like it was
I mean, like
supposed to be late this year.
but they waited for so long that Miyu already left.
Well, actually, she released when
Yeah, I
she
know that she
left that
wasn't
she was
even
a
supposed to be
solo
in the group.
artist
Yeah,
that was just
yeah.
a never
Just
debuted.
half joking there, but yeah,
Yeah, but no, I mean you're right though. She did end up leaving, but she was a solo artist that just never actually debuted.
but yeah. I mean, if you look at just the history, I think of K-pop in general, like it's just the entire graveyard of
Like there
undebuted
was a
group.
group called Sea Art. If you heard of Sea
I've
Art,
heard of
they
CR.
became
Yeah.
and then became Oasis after that, and they
Okay.
were in pre-debut for like 5 years. And they even and they had other projects where few of the members would have another like would do another thing and be a part of like some co-ed rap group for like an album. and then that
Okay.
ended up then the company folded, so the group never debuted after like 5 years of working.
I mean, at that point, you just call them like debut for 5 years. At that point,
Yeah,
I
they
mean,
dropped like a
what kind
trailer
of stuff
and then
makes
nothing happened.
debut from pre-debut? That's the thing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like it's kind of anyways. It's kind of weird, but I mean, on that note, like, how do you find all these new rookie groups in a way?
Mainly
Yeah.
Reddit actually.
Oh, Reddit. Okay. Okay.
There's some people that are out there promoting any group that has any semblance of any sort of brand on Twitter, on anything. Hey, this
Okay.
group. Hey, this group has a had made a TikTok with a dance thing 2 weeks ago, and maybe they're going to be a group in a week. We don't know. Here's their profile. Like just looking at K profiles and seeing if they're legit, because there's been a number of groups that have been promoting on Reddit and Twitter that were actually fake groups that were like
Yeah.
edited and photoshopped
Yeah.
uh like together teasers of other group members that never existed. And then they'll be like, "Oh, this like that last year there's a big one. It was called like Girly, but was spelled with a 6. Like G
Okay.
was a 6." And they had
Okay.
a full Twitter and a whole thing, and fooled Reddit
Well,
into like
it was all
being,
fake, right? Okay.
yeah, and it was all fake. Uh it was all like put like everybody found out via the some person like, "Oh, I was just promoting the group Daydream, but then they disbanded, so I have no reason to promote this group that."
Okay. Yeah.
There was also a group called Lion Girls a couple of years ago that had a
Okay.
bunch of hype behind them, and then it turned out they weren't real.
Okay.
It's a
Yeah,
lot of times
that
they'll
must
find
be hard
models
just
on
to suss
Instagram.
out like what is real and what is fake. Yeah.
Yeah, the people will find like Korean models on Instagram and just be like, "This is the pre-debut picture of this person," and then it
Yeah.
turns out it's
Yeah.
just like a
Yeah.
a model that has like 6,000 followers on Instagram.
Right. Like something like not that famous, but then they'll use their picture, right? Kind of thing.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's fair. Yeah. I mean, like I think for any just yeah, no rookie groups out there. I mean, any exposure is kind of like, important, but just also equally important is just to figure out like whether they're legit or not. Like I usually just go on K profiles. They're usually accurate, a lot of different ways. So yeah.
yeah. The current big issue right now is a group of Twitter users who are promoting the group Plus Girls, who are supposed to be like the new high labels girl group, but all they're doing is finding old uh pre-debut footage and like trailers of already debuted and disbanded groups, or just currently active groups, and saying this is the next big thing, and promoting it all on the same YouTube channel. And it's getting millions of views for things that are all illegitimate, because people are
Wow.
so hype over this girl group that's gonna be the first hype girl group that that they're giving all these millions of views to a completely fake group. Like they're using like Woo trailers, and um they've used a lot of things. Woo trailers. They used some ANS footage. I think they
Hmm.
used some Saturday footage.
Okay.
They've deleted like anything that has been really easy to tell that it's fake. They've ended up deleting over time, but like all of the Woo Who Is That Girl trailer, like those the first Woo trailers that we got, those are all still up on this channel, and they've got like 100,000 views each.
That's crazy, but and the things people do to hype up, I guess, new groups and not and all that stuff. But wow, I mean, I think we did take a little bit of a turn into, I guess, looking at new groups and things like that, which I think is very interesting. But I think, going back to sort of your collecting and kind of how that evolved. Would love to know, how first you got into K-pop as well, and then also how when did you start actually collecting merch and albums and things like that?
Well, I've been listening to K-pop off and on for since 2013. Uh, the first song I actually heard was in 2011 on complete accident. That was Super Junior's Mr. Simple, and
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a
because
classic.
I used to follow a channel on YouTube that's been long gone, and it wouldn't survive nowadays because of copyright issues. But it's a channel that would critique music videos as they dropped, like make fun of them.
Okay, yeah.
It's called The Troll. It's still up, but it's very 2011 humor, so it's very different from now. But he just critique any sort of big video that's dropping, and I saw Super Junior that way, and I was like, this is pretty, like, this kind of, bops a bit. Like, I don't understand. Like, at the time, when everybody's first getting into K-pop, you're like, well, I don't understand it, but it's still,
Yeah, you don't
it
understand,
still
but it sounds
bops. But
cool,
like,
right? Yeah.
there's a lot of color, there's a lot of fun going on with positivity.
Yeah.
And unless you're like getting into BAP or Monster X starting out, then you're like, man, this is dark and broody. But
yeah, that was the debuts. Yeah.
Yeah. But I got into, and then I fell into the. It was all because of the YouTube channel React, because they had the YouTubers react to
Oh
K-pop.
yeah, the React channel.
And
They have their own set of controversies.
Yeah.
But we'll get into that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's their whole thing, their own thing. But this was like a long time ago. This was years and years ago, and they posted their first YouTubers react to K-pop video in
Right. Yeah, that one.
2014.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
That had Girls' Generation, Big Bang, and Shiny in it. I was like,
Mhm.
all of this is amazing, and I really got into Girls' Generation that way. I was like, this is so colorful,
Oh
and
yeah.
bright, and this, because they showed I Got a Boy, and it's like that's the perfect like
Oh
song
yeah, yeah.
to be introduced to
That video
group.
has like 200 different colors in it. Yeah, yeah.
You're like, this is so pretty. There's so much. Like, there's like 8 different genres in this one song.
Oh yeah, that was an insane mashup. Yeah.
And then Shiny's Lucifer, also amazing song to just like get
Oh
into.
yeah, taste.
So I found that, and I was like, oh man, this is cool. So I was listening to just like Shiny and Girls' Generation at first, and I didn't know about B-sides. I didn't know about albums yet. I was just like, oh, music videos. I'll just watch those because that's how only frame of reference I have. And then like the next episode of like all the next React episodes would come out, and it would introduce me to new groups. I'd find EXO, I'd find TVXQ, I'd find Monsta X. I didn't like EXID from the start, like the video that they showed, or Orange Caramel to be on that show really did not get me. I was like so confused.
Wait, hold on. What video of EXID did you watch that wasn't not it?
It was something that it was like so old. It was way before like they had their peak.
Okay.
It was whatever video they had in their React video. It was, I think it was like YouTubers React to K-pop 2, maybe 3.
Oh, okay. It's like an old video.
It was an old video, like 2015.
Yeah.
2014 maybe. Way before Up and Down.
Okay, yeah.
So I was really scared. I was like, I don't know about this, and then they showed Orange Caramel, and I'm like, this is odd. Like, I don't know what's going on.
Orange Caramel is absolutely peak K-pop.
No, it's camp as hell now, and it's great now. But when you're just getting into it, you're like,
oh, you're getting into those. So what is this? You know,
why are they sushi?
Yeah, why are they pretending to be sushi? Yeah.
Yeah, and then but they also showed like BTS's Dope, which was the first BTS song I got into, and I'm like, this is awesome. Yeah, and then they showed like Monsta X, BAP, bunch of stuff, and I was like, man, this is all cool. And then 2016, they show the one that really got me. They showed Twice's debut, like they had GOT7 Just Right and 4-Minute Hate in the same video. And I was like, all of this is perfect. And me and all my friends that watched React religiously at the time were like, what is this? Like, should we get into this K-pop thing? Like, all of this music is amazing. And we were like, just like, oh, well, and we were like, oh, this Twice group is super cool. But then they only had their debut at the time because it was like that dropped like three weeks before Cheer Up came out. So we were like, I didn't know what I was like, I can't find more Twice music. I don't know how to. I mean, how do you search Twice on YouTube in 2016? And I was listening to some GOT7, and I was like, man, 4 minutes fun. Like, this is bang, like Hate bangs real hard.
Yeah.
When you think K-pop, you don't think 4-minute Hate. Like, that's not what you think.
No.
But so we were all listening to that, and then as time would go by, I would go back to the Twice YouTube, and I'd be like, what's the new song that came out? I don't know what this other stuff is. What's a highlight melody and all these things that I didn't know about at the time. I was like, I don't know what these are. But where's the songs? So I was keeping up to date with everything Twice, and then they like dropped their Japanese songs, and I'm like, oh, these are amazing too. And I was just listening to everything Twice based purely off their music videos because I didn't know how to find anything else.
Oh,
I was
okay.
like,
Listen,
well, because when you first get into it, you're like, man, this is like a lot of music. They must be dropping a music video for every song on the album.
right.
But no, they're dropping an album every 3 months, and that doesn't
Yeah.
make any sense to somebody in the West.
Right, yeah, where album cycles are like years, right? Like,
Yeah. So that's how I thought things went at first. I'm like, oh man, these must all be on some really killer album or something, or they just drop singles all the time.
yeah.
And then and then in over time, as YouTube's algorithm got better at suggesting things, it started suggesting me more groups, and I would get into more groups purely via the YouTube suggested box. So that's how I found Red Velvet, Blackpink, Stray Kids, G Friend, where it would just it would be like, do you want to watch this video next after watching Twice's What Is Love? And I'm like, that looks neat. And then I'd click into the next, the Red Velvet song, and I'm like, what are they doing with the pizza guy?
Oh yeah. What about that pizza guy though? Yeah.
And it was like, what's going on here? And then I clicked in and it'd be like, oh, recommended G Friend, and I'm like, this dancing is killer.
Yeah, that's totally fair. I mean, YouTube algorithm is actually like probably, the best thing that happened to K-pop in a way.
No, it's a great way at just being like, hey, you know this group you never heard of with a weird name like Wiki Miki? You should listen to that.
Now, what is Wiki Miki? Why do you spell weekly with an extra e? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
That's how I found Wiki Miki. It was like I literally was looking at my suggested box and I said, the heck is that for a name? I need to listen to it.
What is this weird group?
And I was like, oh man, I love this. And then you find a lot of groups that way. You're just like, I don't know what this name is or what's going on in this thumbnail, but I'm interested.
Yeah, I remember the earliest instance for me for finding like a group was oh yeah, Sistar. Oh man, that was the first serendipitous just YouTube algorithm just finding. It was great, perfect. But yeah, I mean like that's been such an interesting story of how you just gradually got into K-pop, but then I guess now here in 2021, like what you know I guess what groups and what songs are you following the most now, like nowadays?
Well, I was going to I got a little carried away, but I was going to lead into how that did eventually show me what albums were.
Oh right,
because
yeah.
because in 2018 I decided to just one day I was like, man, I was feeling down and out, and I was like, I'm just gonna what's Twice's latest song, and it was Dance the Night Away, and I'm like, this is a positive song that makes me feel good.
Yeah.
And I was like, I had Discord for years at that point. I was like, I wonder if there's like a Twice Discord.
Discord, yeah.
And so I went to it and I was like, oh my god, like all those positive vibes and all these pictures, it's all cool. And then like people were like, oh man, I got the new album. And I'm like, oh, album. And they're like, look at what came in it. I'm like, there's so much stuff in it. Like, what the heck is that? And they're like, yeah, look up. And I don't approve of this person anymore, but they were like, look up KPop. Look at all the stuff that he's opening. And I was like, oh my god, look at all the stuff that is in these albums. Like, what the heck's why is this not here? And I went on to Amazon and I bought Summer Nights, the B version, the black cover. And I got it on Amazon. I got it damaged, and I still have it on my shelf damaged because it's my first one. I don't care that it's damaged. It's the first one. And I open it and I'm like blown away. I was like, one, there's so many little selfies in here.
Oh yeah, the photo cards.
And I was like, there's like 5 photo cards in here. Amazing. Then there's like the Polaroid card in that one. Awesome. Then there's like a standee thing, and I was like, I don't know what all of this stuff is in here, but I'm in love with it. And I was like going into I had 2 guy roommates at the time, and I'm like, look what I got. Like, look, I got little wallet-sized selfies in this book, in this magazine that has a CD in it. And he's like, oh man, that's pretty cool. And like I showed him the photo book, and he's like, that's actually kind of cool. Like that's why don't we have those? And I was like, I don't know, I should get another one. So then I started, at first I started really slow because I didn't know about like K-pop stores in America. I didn't know about places you could buy them way easier than going on Amazon. So I think I bought like a couple more Twice albums, and then I bought like I bought Momoland and Wiki Miki next. And the Wiki Miki album, the first one I got was like me testing out Choice Music for the first time, who I also don't approve of. But
Choice music, yeah.
but I was like, oh man, because I jumped into a Discord that was like more of a community based Discord, and there I was like, suggest me groups. I like Twice and Momoland and Red Velvet and Blackpink and stuff. And somebody's like, oh, you should look at Wikimiki. They could really use the support. And it was before Crush had came out. And I was like,
Okay,
oh,
yeah.
this stuff is amazing. I love the dynamic of this group. And then like 3 days later, Crush teasers started coming out. And they're like, oh, this could be your first comeback with them. And I'm like, I don't know what those words mean, but yes. And I was just loving the concept and everything for Crush. So it was perfect for me to be like my first comeback with a group.
Nice.
And
nice.
then my first like comeback of actually fully paying attention to every teaser for Twice was Yes or Yes, which is like one of my favorite eras.
Yes.
Everything was great. The styling was great. The song was great. We had an amazing showcase. Like everybody was happy and healthy, and it was a great season for a lot of different groups that were dropping amazing music at the time. It was just a peak time for K-pop at like the end of 2018, and then everything went to just crapped out at the beginning of 2019.
And then I went downhill 2019.
Yeah, it just went
got even worse.
It was like February. Everybody's just like, you know what? Let's just have everything go bad. But for that like October, November, December of 2018 was just everybody dropping amazing music.
Right, all I remember all at the same time, and everyone it was just great. Yeah,
It was a great time. And then so I started getting a couple albums, and I was taking a picture of my collection and showing it to the people in the Discord. And I was like, I got a new album today, and tuck it in the thing. And I was just like, I don't know if I could get a boy group album. That feels so strange to me. But I really like Stray Kids, so I started buying Stray Kids albums.
yeah, Stray Kids.
And I was like, and whenever I'd show that I got like a Stray Kids album, more people would be like, "Oh my god, really?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, like, is there something wrong?" And they were like, "Nah, it's because you're a guy who saw my pace, and you were like, I gotta love this group forever." So then I started buying boy group albums. I think I started with Stray Kids and Monsta X and maybe NCT. I think were like my first boy groups I got into. And then everything just became what it is today.
It was that moment where you just like eased into, oh, I guess I'm gonna.
Because I started my first album was on September 1st of 2018, and I was like, oh man, this is great. And then by January 1st, I took a picture, and I mean between that time, I think I only had a table's worth of albums. I think it was only like I have a very small table, so it was like
fine.
I think it was like 30, maybe 40 albums at the time over like.
Oh, at the time, okay. I can't wait for you to reveal how much you have now.
And then it was like, and then like a couple months later, I was like, I was talking to people I think in the Twice Discord back when I still talked in there, and I was like, oh man, I think I hit my 100th album. And they're like, when did you start collecting? I was like, a couple months ago. And they're like, I've been into K-pop for 10 years and I have 14. And I'm like, you should pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers. and then like a couple months later, I was just like, I need more shelves. And they're like, you need to stop. And I was like, no, have you seen these selfies that we're getting in these albums? Little wallet, it's just amazing. And I'd be like, oh man, this. Then I would find groups like, I found a group called Vanner. Vanner is very unknown. Still to this day, they're still around. They've got like 3 albums. And I was like, man, what is this group? I just found through their debut teaser. And I was like, this song sounds amazing. It's called Better Do Better. Listen to it. It's great. But I was like, I have to pre-order it. I pre-ordered it with Monsta X's Alligator.
Oh yes. Alligator's such a good
Yeah, the albums that Alligator's on. I pre-ordered that together, and I was like, and then I got and I was like waiting for unboxings, and I was like, why is no? I mean, I see unboxings for Monsta X because I follow one head who does everything Monsta X. But I was like, where's the Vanner unboxings? I want to see what it comes with. And there wasn't any.
Right.
And it was and then like my albums got delayed, so it was like 3 more weeks of not having my Monsta X or my Vanner albums.
Yeah.
and still there was no unboxings. So I was like, well, there needs to be like somebody else got this album, right? Like somebody had to
Surely
acknowledge how
must be,
amazing
right?
this
Yeah.
group is.
Yeah.
And then, like, I don't know, it was like a month later, one person with like a really shaky phone camera was like, "Look at the photo card I
Look at
got in
this.
this album." And there's not like a legit unboxing. It was like some kid that was like, "Hey, I've never held a photo card in my life before,"
Right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. It's like
and
they're just excited to,
and they're just like, "Oh my god, I'm sad. Look at the thing I got." And I'm like, "Well, at least I get, at least somebody else but me bought this album," and that's what inspired me to be like, I need to start doing this because there are groups out there that don't get any unboxing love,
Right. Yeah. I don't get it.
and
Right. Yeah.
they should. And this is also at a time where like stores like K-Town for You and stuff like that were putting out unboxings for like everybody. So it's like
Right. Yeah. For all their items. Yeah. Yeah.
for all their bigger groups, and I'm like, but there's
Right.
small
Yeah.
groups that need those unboxings too, or else people aren't gonna buy them or know about it.
Yeah. I argue like yeah, smaller groups actually need the
It's
unboxings
like I
more.
don't need to know what's in the latest BTS album because 3,000
There's
people
like
are gonna have the
3,000
video
other
up in
people
a
are gonna
day.
do it anyways. Yeah. Yeah.
People are gonna go to Target and they're gonna see the photo cards up at the bottom of the thing and they'll be like, "Look what I got. Want to trade?" I got hung line, so I'm not gonna keep it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's every BTS collector.
Yeah. Basically, do you want to trade? Yeah.
He's like, "You want to trade? Do you have Jungkook? I will send you anybody else."
Yeah. Yeah. Just give me Taeyong. Yeah.
But that was what inspired me to start doing unboxings. But I made like I think I only made like 4 videos at first. I was like, I'm gonna look it up really. I think I have my album count on that video.
Oh, okay. At the time, right?
Yeah, it's my first video on my YouTube channel where it's okay. So I didn't hit. Yeah, I hit 120 albums in
Okay.
April 11th of 2019.
Okay.
I think I was at 124 when I made the video,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I have 2 shelves.
Okay.
It's one tall standing shelf and a small cube shelf. And I was like, this is my collection, and ta-da. And then I made 4 videos. I made like my photo card collection. I made that. I unboxed ATEEZ's the first album that my music taste had ever released with the photo cards, and people were like, exclusive photo cards, what are those? And now everybody does those. But
Yeah.
that was the start of it. And so I unboxed that, and then I unboxed like one other thing, and then I stopped for quite a while because I changed roommates and I didn't have like an ample place to do it. I was basically like thinking of, like when I started making unboxing again, I literally like laid a piece of wood on my bed and unboxed it on that to make it so it had a flat colored background.
Okay.
It was just a white piece of shelving that I would lay on top of my bed and then unbox that way, and it was really uncomfortable and weird. But my inspiration for wanting to start unboxing albums was like, just I need to highlight groups that aren't being appreciated. So that's why like some of my first unboxings when I came back to it were like Fanatics and GWSN and Busters and stuff like that.
Oh,
Who
Busters.
like
Yeah.
never who nobody like all those videos have like no views too because again underappreciated groups.
Again, Fanatics, GWSN, Busters.
I mean the GWSN album unboxings actually get views because people really want to know what's in those. But
Yeah.
nobody was into Busters for the Peonia era. And then Fanatics Vavi Girl, I had 5 copies of them, and I didn't get a Polaroid.
Oh, okay.
Where like everybody else that I knew that got 2 got a Polaroid. But to answer the question of how many albums I have now,
Yes, that's right. The people want to know.
I lost count again.
Is it over or under 1,000?
But the last number I had is roughly 830.
Okay.
Roughly. And then I have pre-orders still coming.
Oh, right. Yeah, you have pre-orders all the time, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So I have like what just shipped today? My Brave Girls albums, my Very Very albums, and my T1419 albums. And then I have I don't know what else I have pre-ordered right now. There's so many comebacks happening right now. I'm just struggling.
There's so much on pre-order, yeah.
But then I got to I still have to pre-order like MCND.
Yeah.
Oh, I got Mirai coming too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of groups where it's more beneficial these days to to buy, because there's multiple places where you can buy from and get pre-order cards and cheaper shipping, because K-Town for You shipping went really up.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, they jacked up the price. Yeah.
Yeah, they jacked up the price on K-Town for You, which I still prefer K-Town for You due to speed, but their shipping price is higher. A lot of other places have put theirs up, but not to the same amount. So I actually buy mostly from like MakeStar does it pretty cheap.
Oh, it
But
makes
if
sense.
I'm buying in bulk, I'm going through K-Town for You. If I'm buying multiple groups,
K-Town
because
for
you
You.
can't
Okay.
buy multiple groups from MakeStar.
Oh, well, it's always one at a time.
Yeah, if you
Okay.
if they had a cart system, I don't think I'd touch K-Town for You, but they don't have a cart system.
Oh, I see. I see.
You're buying the albums that are on the page that you're on.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. I mean, I also buy mainly from K-Town for You as well.
Yeah, lately I've had to actually go through SubK a lot,
Oh,
who is a solid US distributor, because other places sell out and SubK tends to not. Um, where there's like, because like the new From His album is a
mhm.
limited edition that was never told to us that it would be limited edition.
Okay.
So that sold out on K-Town for You and is not going back into restock.
Ah.
But it was on SubK, so I ordered it off SubK.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Right.
So
Yeah.
I got it,
You
but
got it.
it might still be on SubK. I don't know. But that'll be a limited edition, so you're gonna want to grab that if you want to have the new From His album. And
Mhm.
then like Stray Kids limited album, I had to get off of Music Plaza.
Mm-hmm.
Music
Okay.
Plaza is, if you're actually trying to go with a real actual local store in the US, I would not say Choice Music. I would say Music Plaza. Music Plaza, one, just a better company and store, and two, they're quicker than Choice. Because my limited Stray Kids album already shipped.
Oh, I
And
see.
that's not, and like that turnover time is nothing compared to like a lot of other US stores. SubK is pretty quick. They haven't shipped my normals yet, but they're usually pretty fast because SubK actually orders from K-Town for You in bulk.
Oh, I see. Okay, so it's like okay, distributor of a distributor. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So if you ever go to like, it's not, I don't think it's always, but sometimes you can look in like the highest seller of like the highest, like most people, like the person who bought the most of this album on a K-Town for You page, and
Right. Yeah.
it'll say, you know, a blurred name from America 1,000,
It's
and it's
usually
sub
done,
K,
right?
and it'll be
Okay.
sub K.
Yeah. Yeah. That's totally fair. Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, I'm just sitting here with my, I've been into K-pop for 11 years now, and I'm just sitting here with 11 albums. I'm like, wow.
I have like a stack of albums that I need to sell, and they're all duplicates, mostly weekly Saturday
Oh, right, because you buy
signature.
in bulk. That's right. Yeah, yeah, you do have to.
Because there's some, well, I have been trying to, like, at first I thought that was the smart thing to do. I was like, you know, I'll buy in bulk because then I don't have to like buy each and every photo card, and I can trade and whatnot. And
Yeah.
buying in bulk just, it doesn't work for me. And also with like the sheer amount of albums that I just have stacked in a corner in my other room is just, it's out of hand, and I'm not really, and then nobody's really buying them.
Yeah.
So if you're if that's how you want to collect, that's how you want to collect. But I personally, it doesn't work for me. And also, just for a personal thing, I don't advise anyone to collect the way I do. When anybody
Mm,
ever asks me, "Hey, do you have any tips for starting a collection?"
yeah.
I say
Yeah.
first, look at mine
There's
and
like,
see it as an
wow.
example of what not to do.
Okay. Okay.
I'm ridiculous. Don't mimic it. If you want to live vicariously through me, then please go ahead. I'm totally cool with that. Don't
Yeah.
dictate my collection, but if you want to be like, oh, that's cool that you got that thing. I wish I could get it. That's awesome. Like, I will show you everything about it if you want to see it. That's what I make videos for.
Right. I mean,
But
that's
like,
what the videos are for, right? Yeah.
yeah, but it's like, I would never advise anybody to buy the amount of albums that I do. It's just, and there's somebody else that I know buys similarly as me who doesn't do YouTube, and they
Okay.
have like 600 albums. But theirs
Wow.
are like, but their shelves are so gorgeous. They're on Twitter, and like other like big YouTube, like big K-pop YouTubers look at their shelves and are like, "Wow, I want to mimic that," because it's so organized and pretty.
Right, yeah, and I'm sure like they do the color coordination, all that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
when you have enough space in one room to just line a wall with the same shelf, like 4 of the same shelves and keep everything super uniform, that's amazing. But I don't have that kind of space.
Right. Yeah. Fair
And to
enough.
answer the question, how many JP?
Yeah.
But
JYP and
yeah,
yeah.
JP. I bought 2.
You got 2.
Just
Okay.
just 2.
Okay. That's cool. We still know. I mean, we know some of the members, but we don't know any of
We know
them.
like a member, and then there's gonna be like a voting thing,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they might be called Squad with a 4 instead of an A.
Oh, that's such a cringy name.
They're either naming that they're like that team Squad, or they're
Okay.
naming the new boy group Squad,
Okay.
because they're having the new boy group that's coming out this year.
Oh yeah, JYP has like a few different groups coming out,
It's
right?
well, people are like, why are JYP putting out this many groups? You have to pay attention to how many years it's been since Stray Kids and ITZY have actually debuted. It feels like it was 2 days ago, but it's been
Yeah,
years.
but it's like they're out for like 3 years now.
No, yeah, it's time for JYP to debut new groups.
Debut
Twice
at
is
least
going to be
like
going
3 and
slower.
focus group. Yeah, yeah.
Twice is going to be getting a lot slower. Their contract negotiations are this year.
Yeah, they're gonna get because Twice has a lot more leverage now in their contract negotiations.
Yeah, so I would very
for
much
next
say
year.
that they're going to
Well,
be a
this is
lot
kind of
slower.
their insurance policy. Yeah.
So they're going to be pushing ITZY more. Obviously,
Well, yeah.
obviously
It's
they have
gonna
no they only have 2 p.m. and Stray Kids now for boys. So it's definitely
mainly.
time.
Oh yeah, got some all left. That's right. Yeah,
And
then
they well, I mean they have day 6 too. But that's
well, yeah, but yeah,
bands.
Day6
That's K bands.
is their well, it's a band, right? So it's niche in that way. And then who else? Oh, Nizu is for Japan. So yeah.
I don't have their albums. I've definitely want to because I love every song that they have. They have amazing music.
Oh,
I just
Nizu is
like
great. Yeah.
it's just like how many jewel cases do I need? But they'll debut the Loud group this year.
The
and,
Loud group as well. Then
and
yeah,
then
Nizu the boys.
and then they'll
Yes.
have the boy group. But yeah, because I mean, because they are huge in Japan. Nizu,
Oh,
like
Nizu, yeah,
Nizu
is
so
like
big.
is like they actually rival Twice in a lot of different ways.
Yeah,
Like
no,
for
yeah, they
popularity.
are so big in Japan. They're like honestly, it's I mean, I can get it because Japan is changing how they view J-pop music. They're not
Yeah, so there's
they're
a lot more,
evolving
there's a lot
towards
more
the
appetite
K-pop
for
sound.
K-pop sound. That's right in Japan.
They're like, we want to still be Japanese, but can you go towards this like powerful J-pop sound similar
Like
to
instead
like
of
JO1
like
uses.
pop sound, right? Yeah.
JO1 has the K-pop sound, Nizu has J-pop sound, and then you listen to like whatever they were doing with IZ*ONE's K-pop, J-pop music, and you're like, who filmed this on a toaster? Like who
Wait, I
recorded?
mean, like,
Who threw their
I
phone
mean,
into the
I suppose
pool?
J-pop stuff is basically like AKB48 but remixed.
Well, except for their first song. Their first, I can't pronounce those names for the hell of me, but
Oh,
like
for yeah, I know what you're
their
referring to.
debut J-pop song, amazing, great
Yeah,
quality, great production, everything
that
was
one,
fantastic about it.
that one was the one I actually liked. Yeah.
And then they were like, okay, we have to film Buenos Aires. I'm going to take my phone and I'm going to throw it in the pool, and then we're going to record the music on this phone.
Yeah.
And that's how we're yeah. And also, if you've ever heard of just throw it a really obscure rookie like Nugu group from years ago. There was a group called GBB.
Okay.
That has a song out, and I can't even remember the name, but I think it's just Sounds, like is the title. Like it's just like weird noise, like weird letters. But their entire music video and audio quality sounds like they threw a phone into a pool, recorded on it, and then filmed on that same
call
pool.
it a day, right? Yeah. Okay.
And it's like, and they have like 2 sets, and it looks like it's really bad, but it just made me remember like that they literally sound like they are filming on a phone damaged microphone. I mean, like a water damaged microphone.
Okay. That's not good, but all right. I think the people also want to know how much does your K-pop collection cost?
I have no idea. Not a
Oh,
clue.
God.
I know that I like the albums themselves. I have, now that I've reached, I think, 103 or 104 signed albums. Those
don't come cheap. Yeah.
those are different.
Yeah.
You'd never guess what my cheapest signed, like, okay, second cheapest signed album, because I've got a few cheap ones.
Okay.
One of my cheapest, okay, I'll say big group, like major group cheap albums, because I have Donkiz signed albums I got for $5. But
oh wow, okay,
yeah, eBay is a great place sometimes. But I had acquired a major group's signed album for $12.
Oh, that's a steal. Yeah.
I got it's G Friend's Snowflake,
Mm-hmm.
and it's signed by all the members. It's an M Wave
All the members for
album.
$12. Wow.
Yeah, all the members for $12. It's from M Wave, from
Oh,
a
M-Wave
person.
too. What? Okay.
Yeah. It's for. And this was way before I was listening to collecting albums, but it's
Hmm.
because somebody was selling off a storage locker in California, and they had found all of these K-pop albums in there,
Oh, that was just there. Okay.
and they had no idea the cost on any of them, so they put all of them for like under $20.
Oh, I see. Yeah, they didn't know the relative value. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so they had a bunch of G Friend, a bunch of soloists, um, that I can't remember off the top of my head, but they had a lot of choices there, and they were just be picked up like crazy because this person put them on eBay for $12 a piece,
Hmm.
and like put in the description and put like the photo and everything of the storage locker, and we're just like, yep, we found them in here. We don't know what the heck they are. They're just, we see Asian girls on them and they're signed. So
It was like, oh, I mean, they have some value.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's fair.
But
Cool.
that's how I kind of got my cheapest one there. But as for relative value, the albums I don't know,
Mhm.
because albums prices fluctuate if they're in print, if they're not in print, if you're putting inclusions with them or not. Like if I'm going non-inclusions, most of my albums would be only like $5 to $10 at best.
Okay.
But then we have albums like Dreamcatcher's out of print stuff. That's higher price.
Right. Yeah.
So it's hard to say for that. I have like 12 binders of photocards,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and I have no idea what those would be worth. Those probably need like to be insured, just those
Probably. Yeah.
binders.
Or just like valued. Yeah. Yeah.
Because I've got like signed photocards of like nature and Momoland and stuff like that that probably be worth, I don't know, something.
Mm, okay.
I'm getting spam called by somebody and I don't know the number.
Okay, well, that's a great place to transition or to ignore.
Yeah.
I guess wow. I mean, you just kind of described a lot of different things you got, and things like that. Love to know actually, like in your opinion, what is the absolute like best K-pop album you've ever purchased? What is the worst, and which one that you really want but you still haven't gotten yet?
In terms of like the songs on it, or like the album itself, like everything that comes with it.
I think just holistically, like just entire like songs, album packaging, all that kind of stuff.
That's a really really complicated question, and I don't think I don't think I have a worst album. Like if I don't like the music, I'm not buying it.
Oh, okay, I
so
see. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's fine. Okay,
so
okay,
that's there. But for best, I don't know. I really couldn't say. I don't really. There's well, okay. Here's a few. I can better form that quite the worst question for albums I regret buying.
okay, sure. Yeah, yeah. We'll do regret, right? Yeah. Okay.
So this is one I've sold, but when I was first getting into K-pop, I would usually, and I didn't know how to find albums for cheap. I would scope the cheapest, I would sort by low on Amazon and look at the cheapest albums. And if I liked the songs on it, I'd buy it no matter what the group was. And
Oh, no matter what the group was.
no,
Okay.
if I liked the song,
Oh, but you like
like
the music. Yeah,
if
yeah.
I like the
That's it.
music, I'm like, oh,
I
maybe
think
I'll
that's
get
the
into them.
qualifier. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, maybe like, oh, I like this song, I like the title on this, I'll listen to more of it and stuff like that. It's $12 on Amazon. What do I got to lose? And that's how I bought Winners every day.
Mm-hmm,
Winners still like great music, but they're not a fun group to collect because they're just like, hey, here's all of the photo cards in every album, ta-da.
Okay.
So it like in their earlier albums, you actually had to collect members. Later, they were like, here, have everyone. So
No,
they
just
weren't.
having everyone, whatever.
So it
Yeah,
wasn't as fun. I mean, like some groups do that, like Chickmate does that, and that's cool. But
yeah.
so I was like, you know what? Maybe I didn't need to buy this one because I'm not going to collect them in full. So I ended up selling that one with
Mm-hmm.
all the photo cards and everything like that. I was just like, Winner's still great. I just don't want to collect their albums. And then I've been considering the same with Dia's retro, what is that? Retro, whatever the heck. The really foil one with Wow on it.
Okay.
Great song. It's just I don't want to buy any more of their albums.
I see. Okay.
But for favorite, I don't know. It would be really hard to say.
Yeah, I guess in a way it's like it's like choosing between.
It would be a lot easier. It's I think both of these are just changing the question to something a little bit more like fun. I guess is like what is my most prized album that I have?
Yeah,
That I have like
I think that kind of framing
meaningful.
could be it's subjective, but like it's a
Yeah,
cool way.
it's not like I like every it's not like best music, best everything on this thing. So it's basically looking at my entire Saturday shelf. Um, are just things like I put a lot of effort into collecting Saturday because Saturday only has 3 physical albums, but they have like 7 actual albums.
Okay.
And to find all of their digital promos signed by all members in good condition was a challenge, but very fun. Spendy, but fun. And then I have I guess my most prized thing is I have Two Sunday Kiyomi, which is signed to my name
Oh.
from the members when they still had 7 members. When they still had Sion and Chohi in the group before they left, and they became 5 members, and they've been 5 members for 2 years now, or almost 2 years. I have that signed to my name of all 7 members, and like nobody has that thing. It was a fan meet exclusive album.
Aha. Okay. Yeah.
They have
So
2 fan meet
one of us
exclusive
signed.
albums,
Yeah.
and then I have the other one, which is Two Sunday Christmas. I have that one, but it's not signed to my name.
Right. Okay.
Also,
Wow.
looking at the chat, yes, I agree. Lightsum's Vanilla was horrible packaging.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
way
I mean,
too thin.
it's a single album, but yes. Okay. Yeah.
No, the song great and everything within the album great, but the packaging on the outside, thin cardboard that's easily dented. It's very questionable. That thing needs to be wrapped with like 6 things of bubble wrap to make sure it gets to you in good quality. I'd never order that album from Amazon, ever. It's going to arrive to you smashed.
Okay. Okay.
And also for a recommendation on buying what Red Velvet album version of their new thing, get the case version. Don't touch the photo book version unless you have the size of an album space the size of a vinyl record ready. Because
Is it that big?
it is massive.
Okay.
It does not fit on any shelf I have. I have to put it on the top. I have to put it with 4 minutes Act 4, or I think that the album is, or Act 6, I can't remember. Act 6.
It's the one with hate in it, right?
The one with hate on it. Yeah, I have that one. That one's LP sized as well, along with NCT's Regulate, which is also LP sized. They do not fit on shelves, and it's the same size as those.
Right. Okay. Fair enough.
So if you want a recommendation, get the case version of Red Velvet's new album. It's very easy to store.
Well, there you go. The man has spoken. Okay, Jerry had a question before. So for K-pop albums, they come with the CDs, right? So
yes.
Do you actually listen to the CDs, or you just
never once have I removed a CD and put it into anything I can listen to? I have removed it to see the CD, but I have never once listened to a single one of them.
Facts, same here.
There's for a few reasons. One, my computer does not have a CD drive on it.
Yeah, which computer has a CD drive nowadays, right?
I built my computer without one, so that's
yeah.
And then I also do not know anybody in 2021 who has a CD player. Unless it's one of those ones that they promote on Amazon specifically to K-pop stands that are like, look at this one, you can see the CD spin on the wall.
Yeah,
those are cool. I'd buy one of those. I just have no space for it,
really. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, the thing is, they, K-pop companies, like, they still.
I listen to my Walkman.
They still include it in all the albums, right? So, yeah.
Well, I mean, technically, I have an Alexa album that is on a USB drive.
Oh yeah, they have the USB files.
Yeah, Alexa's first. They have Kinos too, and Kinos are hit and miss. But yeah, Alexa's first album, if you did not get the promo of it, you had to get it on a USB drive.
Yeah, that's kind of unique in a way, but yeah, I mean, like, I guess going off of that conversation, you think about, I guess, all the albums you have now and the ones you're looking to, I guess, get right in the future. Um, if you can change anything about just how K-pop albums just in general, like anything, like packaging, like shipping, anything, what would you change if anything?
Um, I think that more groups need to be more accessible internationally, like in, let's say, Target or Walmart local stores in the U.S. They're gonna sell. They're not gonna be shelf fillers because the U.S. is taking the K-pop like crazy. But it's like if you go to Target, you will see BTS, NCT, Super M, 17, and TXT,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
like
Yeah.
that's
Makes sense.
about it. You
That
might
makes
be
sense.
lucky and see twice. I don't
Whoa,
know if
whoa,
like
whoa, 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 Blackpink.
oh yeah, Blackpink sold out really quick. I haven't seen Blackpink again since they were first there.
Ah,
But
okay.
will ITZY be there? I don't like. Well, Stray Kids new
Well,
album
well,
is
it's
not in
easy there.
stores,
Will Stray Kids be there? Yeah, yeah.
so more groups need to be more accessible, so they don't have to spend over the cost of the album just on shipping.
For shipping, yeah, yeah. That's what most
Because if you
people have
go
to
Get
do.
Down for
Yeah,
you were getting an album for $12 to $15, but the shipping is 30.
that's basically what most people
And
have
that's
to do.
why I steered away from K Town for You for a long time.
Because of
I've
the shipping, yeah,
it's
yeah.
because I was like, why would I? Because when it's back when I was only buying one album at a time, and I was like, why would I
Oh,
buy
at the
one
time,
album
with
at
a
a time?
bulk, yeah, 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 yeah.
Why would I buy only like this one Twice album if the shipping is going to be three times the size? But then you're like, oh well, if I buy all versions plus another thing that I want that comes out the same day, and then now the shipping makes sense.
Now, yeah, now the shipping cost is justified.
I need to budget my month out. One thing I'd also as far as packaging, uh, I would rid the world of anybody who thinks bag packaging is correct because it's not. Don't put a CD in a bag. Uh, especially don't put like the bag and then a album like a photo book and then like the CDs in a jewel case also in the bag and then some stickers are kind of tossed in there
But in the
haphazardly
bag,
too,
yeah,
all within the bag so that you need to keep the bag.
yeah.
I hate that. If you can make it like like rocket punches where you can just take the album out of the bag, throw the bag out, and put the album on your shelf still, that's more acceptable. But still, stop at the bags.
Right. I mean, like, it just looks like they kind of don't care in a lot of ways, right? So it's like
The
here,
Lunchbox
have a
album
bag.
that's a better jewel case, and I'm very much approve of it. It's very easy to store. The lunch like the case album that you're mentioning
Oh, for
about Monster.
the Monster album, right?
Yeah, they all that's the same case that they used for the other Red Velvet stuff, the other solos. And
Oh, right.
it's
Okay, with Wendy's and Joy.
and it's
Okay.
like the best form of jewel case. So I would much rather take that than ever see another bag. Also,
All
please
right.
make it so these albums can fit on the shelf. I can't
Oh,
fit
that
the
too.
new
Yeah.
photo book on my shelf. I can't fit like the last few Golden Child albums on my shelf. They're way too big. A couple Blackpink albums, anything Mamamoo solo, they don't fit on shelves. Do we need an album that's bigger than an LP? We don't. We don't need an album that's big as an LP. So I
Right.
fix that.
Yeah.
Just
Okay.
make it a nice normal book size that you can just put on your
Right.
shelf, and
Like a book size. Yeah.
it
Yeah.
looks like a nice bookshelf, not a clown fiesta of colors and different sizes.
And sizes and just it just looks
Because
odd.
I look at my Luna shelf and I look at my like Stray Kids shelf and it's like they all look very uniform. Stray Kids has changed a little bit, but it's not too bad. And then I look at like my rookie shelf and it's like a roller coaster of different sizes and colors and just
Right. Yeah. That's
so
fair.
yeah. There's that.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. Then I think some great recommendations there for sure. I think wow. I mean, just kind of great summary of just your experience and kind of your insights and things like that. I'd love to have you yeah say any last words or have any promotions or anything like that Love you to say them now.
Not necessarily.
Okay.
But just check out the YouTube. I'll have more videos this week, and the
Oh,
TikTok I'll have more.
unboxings, right? Yeah.
Yeah, the YouTube I have more unboxings. I have CX still to unbox. I've just been busy. I've got the pre-orders I mentioned earlier that should be there here this week, and then TikTok I'll always kind of showcase the albums that I have just gotten in that I will be unboxing this week, and also other fun stupid things.
Fair enough. But wow, I mean, thank you, AJ, for joining me here today on Preem Radio. So that's it for episode 3. Thank you everyone for joining. Hope you enjoyed Preem Radio. We'll be back for episode 4 shortly. And if you guys want to stick around, we're gonna play Jeopardy again. So so stay tuned and enjoy K City. Peace out, yo.